Um, so, thanks everyone for joining Friday evening. So, would probably a quick introduction. Sandesh, CTO at Biru. I lead technology for Biru. We are a identity and fraud risk prevention platform. Maybe we can quickly go around the table and introduce ourselves briefly.
My name is Biru. I'm a VP of Engineer at Betterhalf. It's a matchmaking company. We are fourth largest matchmaking in India. I currently handle the entire tech part of the company. And I'm excited to be here as part of the panel. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Abhishek. I'm one of the founders at Xoxoday, and I lead the engineering team as well.
Hello everyone, I am Sonu Gupta. I run a company called CodersBrain. We help companies to deploy the tech talent. We have right now around 700 employees working across India. So what I say is that like you have an idea, you want to build it, but you don't have a tech team. You come to us, we help them. Thank you.
I'm so sorry for interrupting, but we also have with us Mr. Bittu Parua from EasyCom. Can we have a huge round of applause for him, everyone?
Hello, this is Saurabh here, and I'm the CIO for CaptainFresh. We are into seafood supply chain.
Hi, this is Biru from EasyCom. I'm currently handling the whole department of the premise. That is warehouse management system.
Okay, so maybe we start with you, Saurabh, right? You run a very hyper volatile sort of supply chain, which is both supply, demand, significantly varying. Can you maybe sort of educate the audience on how being born in the cloud is really helping you? How are you leveraging cloud to meet this volatile, both supply and demand?
So 3 years back, we were there mostly into the startup world. Now we are very much IPO ready. And based on that, you can understand the size of the company that we are growing. Lastly, we have done something like 5 to 6 acquisitions. All these are coming from different types of SaaS-based platforms. So today, if we want to go through with the specific use case, if we are looking for on-premise based solutions, it will be a really challenge for us. So starting from HR to cybersecurity to ERP solutions, or specifically to managed services, most of these observability, monitoring, cybersecurity, all these is coming through cloud itself, but it depends on what type of use case and how we are going through.
Okay. So on Sonu from CodersBrain, I think you work with a lot of different engineering companies, right?
Yes.
What kind of parameters you look at to say whether they are fully cloud native? What tells you both in terms of using cloud and being cloud native? They are different. So what do you look at to make an informed opinion of a company, or according to you, what constitutes a cloud native company?
Okay. So let me tell you, like we work with multiple companies, like let's say very small early stage startup, mid-size, or let's say big MNC. So when we talk to their CIO or the kind of the CTO, so basically, we get to know that, what is the compliance or DRC or the data recovery, or what kind of the platform or the data they are using. So when we start interacting, when we deploy our engineers, we get to know they are just starting, they are just doing this kind of thing. So then we need to manage their everything. And but let's say if matured company, which is having, let's say, more than 200 plus employee, they have pretty good robust process in place. And then we say that this is what incremental changes you can do. And then our architect and all those DevOps engineers come into picture, and they support in building those framework. And we also do a lot of managed service kind of things. So we take chunk of work and deliver it. Yeah.
Got it. So Abhishek, from your point, you're a global platform. What has helped you balance both reliability, uptime, and then manage it with the disciplined cloud cost? What has been your guardrails?
Right. So I think in our kind of scenario, and we are omnipresent, which means that we are on cloud, we are hybrid, we are on-prem, right? It becomes very difficult to monitor all the system, right? So we use a lot of tools and also AI-based tools to collect the data from multiple systems and then collect everything in one observability platform, which is Amnik today. That's what we are using, right? That help us monitor entire thing.
Can you repeat the name once again?
Amnik. So Amnik AI, I think it's a very
Correct.
well-known platform. And I think that helps us monitor to a larger extent and also generates a lot of alerts on top of it. So we do a monthly cohort on controlling the cost around servers, which is huge for us because our entire business runs on servers, right? So yeah, that's how we do it.
Got it, got it. So Biru, from you have, I'm sure, a lot of AI models to match, especially in the business that you're in. How has cloud native architecture or how has cloud helped you adopt AI, especially because data science, machine learning is core to your business and product?
Yeah, I think we are fortunate to use cloud native since beginning, and I think that has given a significant advantage to us. We need to train models. Right now, if I say we are, as I mentioned, Betterhalf, a matchmaking company, we also launched the wedding company recently as a part of the separate entity as such. And what we need to do is we need to have millions of images where we need to extract the data and all those things. Now, if I ask, let's say, content writer to write all those things see the images and write about the images, it will take lots of time.
Correct.
Now, with the models which we trained, we use the model, and through that, what we are doing is we are passing the images. Basically, fragmented the images in multiple parts, and then it extract the content and push into the database. So AI, if we use the cloud native, the advantage is that since there are lots of cloud providers are there, and we can directly use them, we just train our model, and then we shut it off. We don't own the hardware, right? We
Correct.
don't own infrastructure. We just use for our own use cases, and within a week, everything is up and running for us. So it has definitely a boon for us using cloud native, and that's the thing.
Got it. So from a bit from EasyCom standpoint, right? I'm sure you have a lot of integrations. How do you use cloud to make this integration faster, build agility into this whole integration process, at the same time making sure the cost is always in control?
So I'll tell you with an example. Okay. So recently we have the Big Billion Day. So there were lots of orders. Okay. So it will be in a day it will be millions of orders to process from the seller side. So we need to import all the orders at the correct time, so that the inventory doesn't get overflow or underflow. Okay. So to run that integration smoothly, we need to first make it so dynamic so that every seller's test cases will get handled. Okay. And then as per cloud perspective, so we need our infrastructure as agile as so that the order flow will get over, then the cloud size will get automatically scaled. Okay, that is how the cloud native is helping us.
Very clear from everybody's input. Cloud native just does not mean you just use cloud technology. It's also the mindset, both in terms of agility, handling scale. So the way you architect, if you just do lift and shift the way you would do architect on-prem versus cloud, it will not work. I mean, everybody will end up paying a lot. So that's very clear. So I just want to open up the panel and feel free to chime in. I think in terms of overall best practices of making sure you get the agility, you are able to scale, but you also keep the cost in control. I think you just mentioned in your how you do it at Exopay, but what about others? How are you making sure whether developers have or engineering teams have full access to quickly scale the system, but making sure end of the month bill is not through the roof? What guardrails, what best practices you recommend to every team?
Right, I'd like to add here. I think this is very important for a startup, I would say. Obviously cloud native give us lots of advantage, using the system, but it comes with a cost. If we don't have the monitoring in place proper, then the cost will go for a toss. So that is something is important, at least for a startup. I have seen a startup who got the credit from the provider, but because of certain mistakes they have done, and the cost yeah, basically has eaten up entire budget as such. I think it also happened with us. I think 10 years back something, there was a code we have deployed in production, and the code has we deployed into the debug mode. And the CloudWatch log so much generated, so the entire billing of that has soared by 200%. Okay, just because of that. So it's important. So the best practices, I would say, is first of all, that always do the weekly or bi-weekly or monthly review, that how much cost is incurring, how much wastage resource you have, let's say 20%, 30%. Generally it happens. For a startup, it happens. Then you also have some kind of monitoring system in place where you can have that, okay, all the resources, managed services which you are using, tag it properly, and then also had that, okay, how much threshold you have put it there, and also use different kind of system, let's say spot instances, then there is a reserved instances. Those kind of instances, if you leverage, it will definitely reduce the cost. So that is the thing. Yeah, that's all I want to add.
Stricter governance
So in this case, I want to say ki, like in Big Billion Day, so orders will be more. So we need to scale up the server. Okay. So that will cost us more also. Okay. After immediate days after the Big Billion Days, so there will be less orders. So we need to again scale down the servers. So Cloud Native is offering that it is automation. It's automation. So that's how the importance is.
Just to add, I think when I said we are using a monitoring tool, right, observability tool, I think it's also equally important to put thresholds at your IaaS provider level, right? For example, if you are using AWS, GCP, or Azure, if you don't put a threshold and alerts on top of threshold, right, then monitoring those becomes very difficult, right? You monitor only on top of what you get as a final output in Amnic or other monitoring tool. But you, even before that, you can have CloudWatch and things like those equivalent to CloudWatch and all, right, which you can put to monitor if anything is going up and down, right? For example, ingress and egress requests, TPS that you monitor, right? All these things you can monitor at the server level. And then you can control the cost. That observability has to be there 24/7.
So in our case, like, so what we did is basically we have a pretty monitoring system in place. So every week we have a review, the CIO and sitting on the architect and seeing that what went, what can go wrong and all those things. So prior to that, we review and we identify those gaps and how to control it. So this review mechanism is essential in each company.
So I'll try to summarize. 2 words. One is capacity management. Another is called cloud cost management. If we are having these 2 modules, I think the older time products like RightScale and other things, they are the best that, where you can just use this. Even IBM is having some of the tools where you can deploy that, and you can, and even there are right now licensing models like you give me your bill, I will take my penny from the savings I make.
Correct.
Okay. So say
That's
they
correct.
will commit, say today your bill is $1 million, I will make it 800. Now my pie will come from that saving of
200.
200K.
Yeah. Correct.
So that is the way. So
Very
there are
interesting.
multiple ways you can commit, and if there is no saving, no saving. So
Correct.
I have seen failing also. I have seen people making.
There are many SaaS players who
Yes,
offer.
yes.
Yeah. Very interesting. So one more, without AI, no conversation is complete. So with AI usage eventually becoming more and more, maybe in next few years, do you see the kind of cloud adoption that we do today, which is could be CPU, normal compute, storage, more shifting towards GPUs, heavy on data, model training? Do you see the way we will use cloud shifting in next 3 to 5 years? And what if that is, what is viewpoint in your respective organizations?
So if you talk about the companies like us, we are totally dependent on the SaaS players.
Yeah.
SaaS players themselves give lot of LLM features within their boundaries itself. Certainly I don't want to use for my personal purposes. That is, for that I can create account. But if you are talking about any of the big players like IBM, Oracle, SAPs, or HR players, they have their own LLM capabilities.
Correct.
Okay? And based on that, if we try to leverage that, most of our 90% of our queries can be very well answered if we are not a product company, correct?
Correct.
So in that case, if we are there in the vertical based business itself, where we are having specific things, I don't see a very big shoot in my GPU requirements itself. It's more like crazy that I should have my own, not required. So I restrict the OpenAI based things, or anybody is asking any type of accounts or marketing teams or content. So it is very much federated and managed by me. Why do you need it? One account you can have and it can be managed in a different way. But at the same time, will not stop the things because of this. If the things are not fulfilled by the SaaS player, certainly we are open.
Yeah, just to add, I think it is largely a build versus buy decision at this point of time, right? So if you have a small use case, or you're just trying to make an add-on to your product and not generally a AI specific product, right? Then I think it's better to buy rather than build on GPUs and all, right? Because GPUs are costly at present world, and building LLMs is equally costly, right? But going ahead with SaaS, that just does your work, right? You just connect with the APIs and that does your work, right? That's good enough today's world.
Got it.
Yeah, I think totally aligned with what Abhishek mentioned, right? So obviously the uses of AI, with the more and more evolution of AI, the uses will go up. But again, it depends on the use cases. For us, it's always better to buy. I don't think build will make sense for us. But yeah, I think the uses will go up.
Okay.
So as per e-commerce domain, so we need AI actually. So for suppose for sellers perspective, it should be a demand forecasting, so that from next month onwards, how much inventory of which particular SKU need to be buy from the vendors. Okay, and then also it will also help seller to create new warehouses in new places based on the previous purchasing data. That is how AI is useful in e-commerce actually.
Thank you. Now, I think it's very clear, while they may not use, every partner here may not use GPUs directly, but the SaaS or your software providers will be giving you that. So is there any warning or architectural mistake that you made that you want to advise the group, whoever wants to adopt on cloud, to talk about any recommendation not to do, the mistakes that you yourself would have made, your teams would have made, or you would have seen in the market making when you, in the age of building architecture, design, in the age of cloud? Anybody has any such learnings or mistakes that you want to call out?
Yeah, so I'll go first. I think there are multiple such learnings, right? When you start building on cloud, right? First and foremost, if you're not designing a system where you are able to control the cost, right? Your cost can skyrocket any point of time, right?
Correct.
If your architecture is not under your control, then you're going to lose a lot of money on that of it. For example, I remember one instance with one of the companies, right? They have built a feed system where they allowed users to upload videos, and they just launched it, right? Mm-hmm. What happened in a slurry, right? And it was a B2B solution. In a slurry, all the corporate employees started uploading their videos, and their video they did not optimize properly. The cost skyrocketed immediately, right? And the bill was twice the bill of the last month, right? Wow. Then they had to cut it off, they had to re-optimize, they had to re-architect, and then they have to send it, right? So I think it's very important first to evaluate the risk and also re-architect or architect the solution on what you're really you're going to achieve and what you're really going to build.
Got it.
I just want to add one thing. I think the cost obviously is the most important point. Beside that, if you are using the cloud managed services, use those services which is available into the different cloud provider too. Don't get stuck with some services which is only exclusive available to one cloud provider.
Interesting.
Because over the time you might explore some other cloud. Okay, in that case the migration will become very, very difficult. So if you are use the generic managed services. Don't stuck with those services. Though it might be cheaper, you might feel that it will be tempting, but in long run it will create problem for you.
Got it.
In our case, what we did is like we have a pretty good talent pool. Okay, so we have created a IntelHire.ai kind of the product. We are basically we say that my data recovery is properly aligned. So every day the data is backing up, and we have created our inbuilt kind of the architecture so that the data comes and we will not lose anything in this place. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. No, I think very insightful conversation. It's very clear that it's just not the technology adoption. It is the mindset to design for cloud native is different. It's about agility, and then also very good inputs on in the area of AI, how this will evolve and change. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you.